Welcome to the Secret Underground Laboratory Recovery and Salvage, where rude mechanicals do magic. Hello, I'm Bronze Age, Director of the Secret Underground Laboratory Recovery and Salvage, and today's job is to turn this little candlestick into a lamp. It's really not practical to put a date or an origin on something like this. We've got lion's paws for the feet here, a canthus leaf motif, a little bit of geometric shape there, and going up to more acanthus leaves at the top. It even got this unusual little piece of hardware here, which probably held some kind of a rod, which held a reflector to magnify the candle light in the room. That kind of makes it old, because when candles became pure decoration and not only for illumination, reflectors fell out of favor. Turning something like this into an electric lamp is fairly straightforward. You just put a socket right here. And in the past, somebody may have tried already. There are little small holes here in both of these bobiches, but no hole in the candle cup. And so that's going to be the first thing we have to do, is figure out how to do that. Now this brings us to the BF bench where the woodworking gets done. A piece like this has to be held very tight when it's being drilled, because brass, being softer than steel, doesn't make chips, it makes shavings. And the drill bit, when it goes through here, the shavings will get twisted up around the drill bit, grab it, take it out of your hands, and do severe damage to your fingers if you're trying to hold on to it. All in all, just not a safe way to do it. So I'm going to make a jig. Now ordinarily in my videos, the jigs just appear, and I say, here's a jig. In this case, what I'm going to do is go through the process of actually making the jig. Now what I need is something that lets this sit flat against the drill press table and then squeeze right here at this neck. And for that, I'm going to make what I call a collar jig. Starts off with this scrap piece of wood here, and I'll draw a line all the way down the center, and then just pick a place where I want to start. Now we're at the Packard 12-speed precision drill press, and I've got a Forstner bit in here that's just a little bit bigger than this flange. And all I want to do is make a cut about that thickness. Now I switch bits, and I've got one that's about the size of that neck. Now we'll see how it fits. Now this is a piece of white pine, which is fairly soft wood, so it's going to compress and fit around the neck there and hold this thing pretty solid. Now that I've got my workpiece clamped down so it can't move, I've also got the jig clamped down at 2 spots, so there's no chance of it shifting or twisting when I start applying the pressure. Sometimes when you're recording a video, if you miss a shot, there's no way to go back and try to film it one more time. That's the case that happened here. So the hole got drilled, and this is what it looks like after it's drilled. Now we have one more operation at the drill press. The socket is going to be mounted on this nipple and a rubber bushing. something like that, and it's going to go in the cup. But it's just a little bit too big. So we've got to trim it down a little bit, and it'll work just fine. And that's the way we do it. Since I want all these holes to line up when I'm done, I'm going to put a little bit of thread lock on each of these pieces. And I noticed that this nut here is a little unusual because it was handmade in the shop where they put this candlestick together originally. It would have been punched out from a piece of brass and the threads cut. And to make sure everything stays in place, I use the blue thread lock so that I don't have to tighten it till it screams. And I can be sure that once I've got it down nice and snug, it's not going to be going anywhere. Now this is the part of the video where I always point out that lamp cord sold for use in North America comes with one side the insulation is smooth and the other side the insulation is ridged. Also, the tips of the wires come with a little bit of solder on them because these are multi-stranded wires. That's what makes them so flexible and makes them resistant to kinking. Now that is required because the National Electrical Code says that you can't put stranded wires under screw terminals. So, the solder on the end of it turns the many wires into one wire. Now, pull it up through here, and the smooth wire will go under the brass colored screw. And you always wrap the wire around it clockwise, get it down there underneath the head of the screw. And when you tighten it down, it will draw the wire under the screw instead of pushing it out. We do the same thing on this side. I can pull my wire down snug, push that stopper down in there, and this job is actually finished. I will be installing a thumb switch on the cord, but the customer hasn't decided whether they want it close to the lamp or close to the plug. Well, this is Bronze Age for the Secret Underground Laboratory Recovery and Salvage. Thank you for watching this video on turning a quite old candlestick into a modern day lamp. And I would appreciate it very much if you would hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Questions, comments, always welcomed. I'll answer questions on just about any subject, whether I know what I'm talking about or not. So, again, until I see you at the next video, thank you very much.